So I guess let's start with the DevNet, which is the most important part right now. Who has updates?
Well, I can say the withdrawals are working again. So my account is filled with a lot of tokens, and I don't see any major issues. I don't know, does anyone see any issue with it?
I guess that's a no then.
Yeah, that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah, so you have updated your BLS signatures of a few nodes, I suppose, and tested partial withdrawals or also like full exits?
Haven't tried full exit.
Okay. And Aragon synced as well, right? With those partial withdrawals. Or does no one know? Maybe someone from Gateway?
From Gateway, I doubt that we tried withdrawals, as Igor is off as of today, but I will recheck with him. From what I see, we haven't tried.
But are your nodes still syncing with the partial withdrawals done by, well,
Yeah,
automatically, basically,
So,
on Aragon?
so Gateway was participating, setting up the validators, but this part on withdrawals, I doubt that we tried it.
Okay. I guess we're running some at Gnosis as well. I don't know if Giacomo, do you know if Aragon still syncs?
So basically what we did was deploying mostly Nethermind nodes. So at this point, I don't have any updates on whether Aragon is actually working. So probably, I don't know if someone from the Aragon team can provide an update, probably.
My node is syncing fine, but it's not a validator. It's just a read-only node.
I don't know exactly about Aragon validators that were set up by David, but according to Igor yesterday, he did set up like 2,000 keys with Aragon. The participation rates on the network are fine right now. There are almost like 100%, or at least over the 90%. So I guess the Aragon validators are fine, but didn't do actually any setup on the Netherlands side.
So then there's nothing wrong with the network at this point, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they're working fine.
Okay, that's good. Lion, do you have updates regarding like testing?
Do you mean Hive testing?
No, just testing like the network, the current production network. I think. Well, he mentions setting up scripts to test withdrawals on the current DevNet and things like that. Not Hive tests. I'm not sure if he can talk. I mean, he was spamming thumbs ups, but.
Well, one thing to test, I think just to make sure the failing withdrawal processing works fine. But it's a bit of a tricky question. I don't know. We can try to drain a contract to make it run out of funds, but then it will fail all withdrawals for everyone. I don't know. Maybe Leon has better ideas how to test it, how to make sure it works as expected.
So how much was funded in the deposit contract now? How much?
I don't recall. I have to check. Maybe 1,024.
Okay, so that's as much GNO as we have nodes, right? So we would have to exit all the nodes to be able to test this out. No, we have 10,000 nodes, right? So if 1,000 nodes exits, then we can kind of test this phase scenario.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can make a full exit, and we'll test a full exit, and then we'll switch to failing withdrawals. Yeah, like together. I think with that key, probably the 25% of validators will exit. I will check with Carlos later.
What do you need for testing right now? We do have a faucet and but at least we have an address. I have the keys for it that we can use to. It has like almost infinite GNO right now.
Yeah, so we can do drain contract and then check the failure and probably then refill it again.
Yeah.
So well, if we have enough stats to kind of check everything that's going on, then I think we should do this as soon as possible. Maybe wait for Lion. I don't know if you have some input in that regard. Well, I guess that's it for DevNet then. Let's just settle this timing thing. So right now this call is at 3 p.m. CET, so I don't know where most of you are located, but it's moved forward, it's 1 hour later in CET. So I created a vote on the Telegram group. Do you want to keep it at the current time, which is in the Google Calendar, or do we want to move it to, back kind of to 2 p.m. CET, knowing that right now it's at 1 p.m. UTC? So yeah, if you have input on that side, and if you could also vote on the pinned comments on the Telegram group, that would be nice. And yeah, Lukasz, go ahead.
So for me and for Marek Moraczyński, it conflicts with one other community meeting. So we would be really grateful for moving it back.
Okay. Well, Lion and Guillaume also want to move it back. So I think we should do this. But please, if you, 6 people voted to move it back, and everyone else, no one else, sorry, voted to keep it at the current time. So we're probably going to move it back. But please tell me if you can't make it for some other reason, because you have other time things in UTC. Yeah, just so we can make sure that it's okay for everyone. All right, regarding updates that are not related to the DevNets, Netherminds, do you have anything?
Yeah, perhaps we should introduce Marcos for Hive tests. He will replace Max in that regard. And tomorrow we're gonna have a call and discuss our next steps. Beside Hive test updates, I'm not sure. Do we have any other? Perhaps no.
In general, I want to say that after mainnet Chapella, we will probably release a very big version with a lot of changes. We'll stabilize it before releasing. We will also test on Gnosis Chain. But yeah, there will be some big release in probably like 2 to 3 weeks from Nethermind.
Awesome, good to know.
Yeah, I expect new bugs coming. I'm kidding. It's gonna be perfect.
But
No.
but what are the main kind of points of the release, or kind of the main improvements or changes?
So there are so many that it's hard to list them, but generally we have a lot of extremely talented people recently looking at different performance/memory optimizations. So a huge amount of those are coming, and I don't want to tease yet, but we might be able to have a mode for very light nodes By light, I mean, like, for example, just validating and not doing anything else with the node, to reduce memory consumption a lot, and a lot. Like on Gnosis Chain, maybe even go into like 4 gigabytes might be possible. I haven't tested on Gnosis. I'm testing on Master, and 8 gigabytes there is totally fine. But I don't want to like also like improving attestation performance, things like that, directed performance. There's also like a bunch of small fixes and improvements, like better multi-threading in some sync modes, utilization in sync modes, things like that. Though some of them are in SnapSync, which yet is not used on Gnosis. Longer term, we will have even more changes like that, and finally switch our state database layout, which is a bit long overdue. But
that's a long shot.
That's later this year. I don't want to commit to any date, but then we could enable serving SnapSync on Gnosis Chain, just because I mentioned SnapSync, so I just wanted to mention that. But this is coming to this year, though if it's first half a year or second, I don't know.
If we fix the current challenges, because
there's still work to be done there. There's
a lot.
But there's a dedicated person just working on that, and second person working on very similar things, and third person working on vertical trees, which are also related. So there is really a lot of development there. Just giving a teaser here.
Well, consider us teased. So just as a clarifying question, I guess. So you mentioned Marcus was going to replace Max. Was that like, I mean, is that clear for everyone that Max is not going to be working on Hive tests anymore? Or is he still going to work? Are they both going to work on it? Or
that's a question to Andrew, probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Max, we don't use a gateway. We ended our agreement with a gateway for developers. So Max was part of that agreement, and thus Max is no longer an Aragon developer.
Okay.
So we don't. At the moment, we don't have anybody to work on Hive. We want to hire new developers, but it will take time.
Okay. Do you have any other news that are not related to the DevNet, I guess, or maybe to the DevNet? If there's something else?
I made a change to the withdrawal contract invocation. So I think Aragon works fine on DevNet 3 now. That's the newly added max failed withdrawals or whatnot parameter.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So regarding Geth, so Guillaume can't make it today because of the timing change, but he worked around some issues from last week regarding syncing in general. So now he's able to import data and kind of sync the chain. It's been running for 2 days, and hopefully it should be done in 1 more day. After we should be able to give an update. So I'm expecting good news, hopefully next week. On the consensus layer side, so there's also kind of news for Nimbus. We've published docs for, I'm not sure if they published already, but they are written and done and reviewed to run Nimbus on Gnosis. So we will be getting some client diversity communications out. And for Prism, there's no updates because Guillaume is focused on Geth at the moment. Regarding the withdrawal contracts, there are some news. Well, maybe there are not actually. I mean, I don't know if Lion has information regarding the audits, if he can now talk. Right.
Yeah, sorry, my mic
Yeah.
situation is not great at the moment. I got stuck. Yeah, audit is ongoing. So Adam did an internal audit. There is another audit external going on now that should be done by, I think, early next week. But yeah, we are on it. Adam found an interesting point that I think we should put up. So there is an attack due to minimum amount to deposit is 132th of native token. So at current price is about $3. So it costs $3 to create a deposit. And I'm not sure if that poses an attack vector. We'll have to look into it. But we may want to raise the minimum deposit value something higher.
All right. I guess that's. I mean, if it's a bug, it's easy to fix, and it wouldn't change that much. So that's something. Okay, so regarding Hive tests, I guess you have a call tomorrow. That's the one you've been inviting everyone, right? At 3 p.m. UTC, was it?
Yeah, 3 p.m. UTC.
I think 3 p.m. Europe.
Sorry, Andrew. What did you say?
I think 3 p.m. not UTC, but 3 p.m. European time.
PT?
And 1
1 p.m. 3 p.m. CAT.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Sorry for that. In any case, in the channel is an invite, so you can just pick it and see which time is for you.
Awesome. So I guess nothing more to say about this today then. Gateway, do you have information? I mean, updates regarding the chain infra?
Yeah, so besides DevNet, as it was already mentioned, we now have mainnet bridge validator run by Gateway that already got some transactions. And that's the main achievement. I think we have extra monitoring to be added there. And yes, that's it.
All right. Well, if everything else is good and the DevNet is doing fine, then I guess the next objective is to kind of test this failure scenario by fully extending at least like 1,000 validators. I'm not sure. I mean, depending on how much GNO is in the deposit contract. And yeah, please keep us up to date on the Telegram group. Yeah, go ahead, Ruben.
Yes, I would just want to stress that I would expect like more Gnosis people test this withdrawal contracts failure because it's provided and developed by Gnosis. You guys know better what's going on inside, and you have another expectations than us. So it's probably will be more valuable if you like test it yourself or tell us what to do, because we can't test like ourselves, but you know the logic better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, Lion, do you have comments regarding that? I mean, have you made progress on that side?
Yeah, it should be about running a bunch of truffle scripts.
So you are running those scripts, or are you working on them, or what's? Sorry, I didn't get that part.
Yeah, I can try. It should be doable. Otherwise, I would coordinate with Ihor.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll try to get more testing done on Gnosis sites, and if there's nothing else, we can wrap it up. And yeah. Well, see you next week or tomorrow for those who will be attending the Hive test call.
Talk to you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.